All right, fifth graders, today we are going to be learning all about the Mayflower Compact. So, before we even start learning about the Mayflower Compact, we have to know kind of what it was and why it was formed. So, on Tuesday, yesterday, you learned about the Pilgrims. So, the Pilgrims were a group of people who came over from Europe and settled in the United States. And when they got to the United States, they had to figure out, well, who's going to be in charge here? So they formed the Mayflower Compact in order to decide who was going to be in charge. So I'm going to go ahead and click present right here so that you can read it easier. And I highly suggest when you're on your Chromebook, you do this as well. So we're going to read about the Mayflower and get some background information about what the Mayflower Compact really is, because it was their government. It says, in the year 1620, approximately 100 travelers left Plymouth, England aboard the Mayflower, setting out on a 2-month transatlantic voyage in hopes of settling in the new lands of North America. Half of the settlers were separatists. They no longer wished to live within the confines of the Church of England and were in a search of a place where they could worship freely. So the Pilgrims wanted religious freedom. So they wanted to have some religious freedom. They wanted to be able to worship God the way they wanted to worship him. In addition to the separatists, or pilgrims as they came to be known, the other travelers were made up of adventurers, tradesmen, laborers, and even servants. The group of colonists had initially received a land grant from the Virginia Company to settle and colonize the mouth of the Hudson River, but were blown off course and landed farther north. Since the colonists did not have a charter or a land patent to settle in that location, they had no legal authority to establish a colony there. So they landed in a spot where they didn't have a document telling them that they could live there. It says, taking matters into their own hands, the colonists decided to create a social compact or agreement that would outline the purpose and laws of the settlement. While still aboard the ship, a group of colonists drafted and ratified the Mayflower Compact, the first governing document of the new Plymouth colony. The document, signed by 41 men, stated that settlers would consent to follow the rules and regulations of the government for the sake of survival. In return, the government would get its power from the consent of the colonists. Essentially, the Mayflower Compact served, and I'm having a hard time seeing the bottom of here, as a democratic framework for governing the colony of Plymouth. There we go. So we're going to talk about how to do these vocabulary words. So today we're going to do some vocabulary to help you understand. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the definition of the word sovereign. So if I don't know what that definition is, I can use some features to help me find some definitions here. So I'm going to search and I'm going to type in the word sovereign definition. And that's the quickest way I can come up with the definition. Sovereign means has two definitions, and I'll usually pick the first one. A sovereign, a supreme ruler, especially a monarch. So a sovereign is usually a ruler. So I'm going to put a ruler of a people. My definition. Now I'm going to have to find a picture of the word sovereign. So to do that, I'm going to go to Insert, Image, Search from the web, and I'm going to look up the word sovereign. See what I come up with. And I've got some coins here. Ooh, I've got a crown. That'll help me remember the word sovereign. So I'm going to insert that in my picture box, and I'm going to make it so it fits inside here. Now I'm going to use the word in a sentence. Mrs. Patina was the sovereign of her classroom. I was the ruler of my classroom. That's right. I'm the ruler. All right. So I'm going to click that. Next word is the word colony. Well, we know what that word means, but if you want to look up and you don't know, you can type in colony definition. A group of people living in a foreign country or city. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to copy and paste that definition. And then I'm going to look up a picture of a colony. So I'm going to go to Insert, Image, search the web, and I'm going to look up the word colony. And so I've got some different pictures of colonies here. I can pick whatever the one helps me remember colony. Put it there, and then I'm going to use it in a sentence. You're going to do this for each of the words. Solemn, ordinance, reign. And you're going to do that and define those words. And that is your assignment for social studies today. And enjoy.